All right, let's talk about something that I know causes a lot of stress for business owners, picking the right tools to build your website. The whole point is to make sure those tools are working for you, not creating some frustrating, expensive mess. So, let's dive in.
So let me just start by asking you this. Is your website costing you more than just money? I'm talking about your time, your energy, maybe even a little piece of your sanity. If that sounds even a little bit familiar, you're definitely in the right place.
You know, so many business owners fall into what I call the website building trap. It's a super easy place to end up, but today we're going to figure out the way out. And we'll start by looking at the most common mistakes people make.
Okay, be honest. Do any of these sound familiar? Overspending on all these fancy tools you never actually use? Or grabbing a so-called premium theme just hoping it'll magically make your message clear? Or hey, maybe you're just stuck on a platform that you can't figure out. These are incredibly common pain points, and they usually happen when we choose tools based on emotion or some marketing hype, instead of, what we actually need.
But here's the first really big mindset shift I want you to make. Using templates, themes, and builders, that's not cheating. It's not a shortcut, not at all. These are the standard professional tools of the trade. The problem isn't the tools themselves, it's how we misunderstand and misuse them. So let's get some real clarity here. We're going to decode the 3 core tools you're always going to run into. Seriously, just understanding the difference between a template, a theme, and a builder is the first huge step toward making way smarter choices.
First up, the template. The easiest way to think of this is as a blueprint, but just for a single page. It dictates the layout, the order of the sections, the general flow. It just gives you a solid, reusable structure to start with.
Next, we've got the theme. Now, a theme is way bigger than a template. It's a whole collection of templates plus all the global styling rules. We're talking fonts, colors, spacing, the whole shebang. A theme controls the entire visual system of your website, which is what keeps everything looking consistent. And finally, the builder. This is your visual editor. It's the tool that lets you drag, drop, and edit your pages without having to touch a single line of code. But here's the really crucial part. A builder only controls how you edit. It has no idea what you should be building. It doesn't give you the strategy.
So let's just boil it all down. A template controls the layout. A theme controls the system. And a builder? It controls the editing process. See, 3 totally distinct jobs. And this might be the most important thing to remember. These tools, it doesn't matter how powerful they are, they cannot fix a broken foundation. They can't make your message clearer, they can't define your business goals for you, and they certainly can't fix poorly structured content. A really great theme wrapped around a bad strategy is still a bad website.
Now let's talk about how this all leads into the next big topic, the myth of customization. This is a word that gets thrown around all the time, and honestly, it causes people to spend a whole lot of money they don't need to.
Have you ever said this, or even just thought it? I just need full customization. It feels like what you're supposed to want, right? Total freedom, total control. But let's push back on that idea a little bit.
I mean, what does full customization actually mean when you really dig into it? More often than not, wanting it isn't really about unlimited flexibility. It's usually a symptom of a much deeper problem.
Because real strategic customization, well, it isn't a starting point, it's an end point. It's what you do after you already have proven workflows and a really deep understanding of your system. It's like you earn the right to customize by mastering the fundamentals first.
So how do you actually avoid falling into these traps? Let's walk through 4 really clear red flags you can watch for when you're choosing your next tool.
If you see any of these 4 things, I just want you to pause and think really carefully before you click that buy button.
Red flag number 1, too many demos. You've seen these themes, right? They promise they can be a website for a dentist, a yoga studio, a crypto startup, and a bakery, all at the same time.
Here's the thing. A tool that tries to be everything for everyone ends up being bloated and slow. It gets packed with features you will never ever use, which makes it way too complex and an absolute nightmare to maintain down the road.
Red flag number 2 is pretty closely related. It's feature-first marketing. This is when you go to the sales page and it's just this massive, overwhelming list of features, buzzwords, and all-in-one promises. Remember, more features don't mean a better result. It usually just means a steeper learning curve for you and, maybe more importantly, a lot more things that can break. It's often just a sign that the tool doesn't have a clear, focused purpose.
Okay, red flag number 3, no clear structure.
You have to be really wary of any tool that encourages you to design every single page from scratch, just randomly stacking sections without any clear system or logic.
And why is this so bad? Well, because freedom without any constraints just leads to chaos. You end up with inconsistent-looking pages, tons of visual clutter, and a really confusing, broken experience for the one person who matters most, your user.
And the final red flag, number 4, locked-in ecosystems. This one is huge. This happens when a platform makes it incredibly difficult for you to take your own content and move it somewhere else.
Think about it. If you can't easily export your own content, you don't really own it, do you? You're completely dependent on a single company, and that's a really risky place to be. True ownership means your stuff is portable. Okay, so after avoiding all those red flags, how do you actually move forward and choose with real, genuine confidence? Let's reframe the whole decision with a simple but really powerful set of questions. So before you pick any tool, just ask yourself these 4 questions. First, does this support the clarity of my message? Second, does it actually reduce complexity in my life? Third, can my business grow with this, or will I have to do a total rebuild in a year? And finally, just be honest. Will I still understand how to use this thing in 6 months? Choosing tools that let you say yes to those questions, that is what gives you real control over your business and your website. It's not about endless features, it's not full customization, it's about intentional, confident simplicity.